What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But you guys, the aDrive Army Battle League subscriber finals, the championships here. The New York Metapods are taking on the Buizels and Fizzle. It is about to go down. If you guys haven't seen this season, it's a little bit of a break between the semifinals and now because of the baby and everything like that. But we have the finals match right now, and it's gonna be pretty epic, man. So we made it all the way to the finals, and of course we're taking on Fizzle, who actually beat us in the regular season, week 6, I believe. He kind of destroyed us. He made some really good plays, and I got a little frustrated with myself and kind of the situation that I was in, and kind of made some bad plays. But I get my rematch here, and it's for the championship. I'm pretty excited about that. So show some love with that like button down below, and subscribe if you are new. Now I've got the team that we used in front of us here, and I'm gonna actually probably rip this thing apart because it did not work last time. We had Mega Pidgeot here, which is Hurricane, Heat Wave, Hidden Power, Steel, and Workup. I actually think this set is probably pretty decent in terms of the different sets that I could have run. I'm probably gonna keep this set. I don't know if I like Workup so much. Maybe I'll run Roost or U-Turn, but this set I think is actually really good because Hurricane spam is pretty solid against him, and realistically, like, there's not much else I can change on this set. I mean, I'm just gonna spam Hurricanes. I'm gonna have Heat Wave, which is for Jirachi, and it's for, you know, things like the Buzzwole and stuff like that, if I don't want to, you know, go for Hurricane. And then obviously Heat Wave hits the Registeel relatively well, and then I've got Hidden Power Steel, which is for Mega Diancie, which again I think is pretty solid. I do actually like U-Turn over Workup though, and I'm gonna run that because I feel like he's got a couple different really good switch-ins to Mega Pidgeot, and I want to make sure that I can kind of pivot out of those Pokemon. Now, the next Pokemon I had was Rotom, which was a Choice Scarf set. This was designed to hit a couple things pretty hard and kind of pivot out. It also gave me something to trick some of his slower threats. I'm not sure I'm gonna keep this set or not. Like, I don't know if I want to keep the Choice Scarf set, so we'll kind of have to reconsider that. I can tell you I'm gonna trash this this Salazzle most likely. It ended up doing absolutely nothing, and truthfully it's not like that great in general. Like, I just don't think it's gonna be that good for me, so I'm probably gonna trash the Salazzle because, like, as much as it's an okay Pokemon, it just doesn't put enough offensive pressure on him, and he was able to kind of do a lot of different things that kind of destroyed it. Tombstone, I brought Z-Memento because my strategy was to hazard stack him and you know, try to take advantage of that. Nope, we're not doing that. And then I had Choice Banded Azumarill, which I kind of do still like. I think Choice Banded Azumarill has some viability to it because his best switch-ins to it are going to be like the Registeel and the Suicune, and realistically, like, I can still put a lot of pressure on them. When it comes to things like Donphan and stuff like that, I can easily, you know, take some hits and stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove a little bit of HP. We're going to put a little bit more speed on Azumarill. That's going to just make sure that, like, if he tries to creep me with the Donphan or something, or the Registeel, I'll actually be faster than I was last time, because that could be a strategy that he tries to implement in this match. The only other thing is, like, I need Play Rough, like, or what move do I not need? Because he brought Vileplume last time, which I thought was pretty surprising to see that Vileplume. So I'm definitely gonna bring Necrozma this time around to try to counteract that Vileplume. So I like all the moves that we have here. I mean, a Belly Drum set actually could be really solid too if I can outspeed the Suicune. So let's take a look here about Azumarill with the Belly Drum set against Suicune. Like, what is Suicune doing in terms of speed? Would he speed creep me or not? So if he's like a defensive set, which I feel like he would probably likely be, he's gonna outspeed me, I think, no matter what I do, pretty much. Like, if I ran max speed, he's gonna, I can outspeed a defensive set actually, and if I go +6, I definitely could beat him with Play Roughs. I mean, I could run Play Rough and then Aqua Jet. Does Aqua Jet at +6 kill Jirachi? It does not, so that's something to make note of. A max HP Jirachi would live. Same with, like, Buzzwole. I think Buzzwole is another mon that, like, if he ran speed on it, which he very well could, I just feel like the unfortunately Azumarill isn't that good outside of the Choice Banded set. So I feel like the Choice Banded set is the way to go. Just because I feel like, because it requires no setup, his switch-ins are, like, limited. I can two-shot, you know, defensive with rocks, like defensive. Suicune does get two-shot by Play Rough, or pretty darn close. And then again, the Registeel. What about Registeel? I feel like he runs specially defensive Registeel anyway. So yeah, Liquidation two-shots that thing too. So, you know, we have some options. It's a little tricky though, but I do feel like the Azumarill is probably best off being just offensive like it is. Having that priority is really nice for Mega Diancie with the Aqua Jet, because Diancie's really not going to want to take that hit. I just run a quick calc on the Aqua Jet. Yeah, we can one-shot it with that. So I think I'm going to stick to the Choice Banded Azumarill. So we've got two Pokemon on the team that I really like. And I did say I want to bring Necrozma this week. I think Necrozma is actually, like, a lot better than I think I initially wanted to give it credit for. So let's take a look at Necrozma here, and let's try to come up with a good set for it. I definitely feel like one of the big things I want to do here is I'm going to actually run Max Speed Timid. That's gonna ensure that we're gonna speed tie with that's gonna ensure we're gonna have speed tie with that Buzzwole at max speed, which is pretty nice. It's also gonna allow us to pretty much outspeed Suicunes and things like that. Photon Geyser seems like a really good option, and then I think Earth Power kind of rounds that out. So Earth Power hits the Jirachi, Photon Geyser hits the Buzzwole, the Donphan, the Cofagrigus, Earth Power for the Sneasel if I need it. The Registeel doesn't want to take an Earth Power. Drampa is fine. Mega Deontay doesn't want to take an Earth Power. I can probably two-shot the Suicune, I would imagine. Let me see here. It might not be in my worst interest to try to run Calm Mind, because that +1 Calm Mind is going to really do a lot to that Suicune. And like, yeah, he can roar me out, but at the exchange of taking his Audience Sense, really the standard set, at the exchange of taking like a pretty big hit. So I kind of like that option. And it comes in on things like Vileplume like every time. And realistically, like, what is Registeel going to do to me? Besides try to like poison me or something. So I kind of like the Calm Mindset, and I like running whatchamacallit, Moonlight. Moonlight or Morning Sun, it doesn't really matter. I'll go with Moonlight. And I think Leftovers is probably the best option. An offensive item would be pretty nice, but I think Leftovers is probably the best. I mean, I'm not like super worried about the Buzzwole because I'm gonna be max speed. So the other things that he hits me super effectively with would be like Cofagrigus, Shadow Ball, and then like knockoff from stuff. So I think Leftovers is actually a pretty good item here. So I think that this set is actually better than some of the other options I had. So I definitely feel like I should bring this. The next Pokemon I'm thinking about is a couple different options here. You know, he didn't bring Jirachi last time, which I thought was interesting. I feel like Stagataka with a Z move could actually be really good in this match. Because he didn't bring Donphan last time, and I can easily set up that that Z move. I didn't bring Zygarde either last time, so a couple weird like pieces. I'm actually gonna delete Voltergeist here. We can make another set, and I'm gonna delete Legos too. So these three I like these three. So let's think about this. I think I see viability in Pangoro because it breaks his defensive core like really well. It forces knockoffs, it pressures him there. Bullet Punch is good for Deontay as a revenge kill. Jirachi can't switch into knockoffs, and Buzzwole, while it can switch in, like it's not really gonna want to necessarily. And I have things like Pidgeot, which can resist his dual stab. Last time he brought like Zapcan and Registeel, so he's brought he like definitely prepped really well last time. So I see some viability for Pangoro. Stakataka is tricky. Like I said, Stakataka kind of like can run through his team if I bring the right set. A Ground Z Stagataka actually looks kind of decent because it probably wrecks the Registeel. And realistically, the worst he can do to me is Earthquake, which probably isn't going to do a ton. He had Fight Z Thundurus last time, which was kind of his way of dealing with that. Deontay has to run Earth Power, I think, to do much to me. So one of the sets I actually ran was like a Shukaberry set, which actually isn't terrible in this matchup. Like Shukaberry, Stakataka isn't terrible if I bring an offensive set. I also or Air Balloon rather, either one, but I actually kind of like both. Like both options have viability. I feel like bringing the Shukaberry is, well, so he brought Fight on Thundurus, so Choppleberry would be better for Thundurus, but like a defensive set isn't a bad option either. The problem is like Cofagrigus, I think walls, so if he has Cofagrigus, then run some Calcs here. Z Stone Edge is gonna really do very little. Yeah, it does so little to him, and like Donphan, I'm not gonna be able to break Donphan. It's so hard to justify bringing this thing when, and I think I had the same dilemma last time. Like Stakataka looks really good against his offensive threats, but his defensive threats it does nothing. So, and with him having Suicune, I feel like I just have to continue to leave it out. I do like Pangoro. As I mentioned, I think actually Pangoro is pretty solid in this match, because it can really do a lot of damage. To, like I said, Bullet Punch for the Deontay. It can pressure things like Suicune and hit it really hard. You know, against Jirachi, obviously, unless he's carrying Moonblast, I can fire off a really big hit with knockoff. And I can potentially carry like an Aerial Ace for a Buzzwole. So I kind of like that option. So I think I am gonna bring Pangoro this week. I just feel like it's too good to pass up. So we're gonna bring Bullet Punch. We're gonna definitely bring knockoff. And that covers like two of his really biggest threats. And then I kind of like Drain Punch, obviously, because you get health back, which would be good for the Registeel. Low Kick is also nice because of Registeel. Let's actually run that Calc on Pangoro versus Registeel. Drain Punch is going to do like 50%, and Low Kick is going to do like 80 to 90. So I do think Low Kick is the better option here. What is it? What's the difference to Donphan? Low kick does a little bit more to Donphan. And then how does that look against like a Suicune? The key here is to pressure with knockoff. Low kick is going to do a little bit more to Suicune. I'm not really worried about Thunderous. It's not going to really matter against the other dude. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go low kick. And then I think from there, like I said, if he gets Aerial Ace, which it does, that's a good way for Buzzwole. Like, if he brings Buzzwole, I can bring Aerial Ace, and it should just one-shot. You tend to forget how bulky Buzzwole is, dude. It's, like, absolutely insanity how bulky this thing is. Aerial Ace is, like, a 2-shot. Is it even worth? I mean, I've got the knockoff. Parting Shot is actually kind of cool. How do I feel about scarfing this thing? Actually, do I want to scarf this thing? So like the perks to scarfing it is like you're just gonna hit like things like Thunderous really hard with knockoff, which is gonna do just a tremendous amount of damage to him. So there's some value to scarfing this thing and then just running Parting Shot and then kind of using it as a pivot. I do kind of like that, even though Bullet Punch, it's tough. I do like Parting Shot on this set. Do I want? Let's see here. Scrappy's cool. Mold Breaker's probably best. Mold Breaker is probably best. Iron Fist gives me the boost to Bullet Punch, though. I guess we'll go with Iron Fist. I don't really see where Mold Breaker comes in handy. Although, Mold Breaker actually against Cofagrigus, I'm sorry, against Registeel is nice because your Parting Shot would still activate on Clear Body. So that's kind of cool. I don't think it matters because we're going to one-shot the Jirachi is Serene Grace, so it's not going to matter. I'm gonna run Mold Breaker. And this is tough in terms of the item, because I do feel like a Choice Scarf set actually has a lot of viability, even though Bullet Punch is kind of weird with Choice Scarf. Because then we could outspeed like Thunderous and we can outspeed Jirachi and just click knockoff against stuff. And like if Buzzwole's his best switch in, I can get rid of whatever item that thing has. And like Donphan can come in too, but again, I'm gonna have defensive responses to those things like Rotom and stuff. So I'm actually leaning towards the Scarf set. Let me see here. Can I outspeed Sneasel with Scarf? 361. So 361, it's 241. So I have to hit 241. So I probably have to be Jolly. So I can't outspeed Sneasel, which is okay. Like Sneasel really, I mean, he can Ice Crash, but it's not really that big of a deal. So I can outspeed probably Deontay though. Do I even need to outspeed Deontay actually? No, I feel like I don't need to outspeed Deontay. So let's actually speed creep for the Thunderous Therian, which is base 101. So 331. And we might even be able to run Adamant. 220. Nah, I think I'm gonna be short. Yeah, so I do have to run Jolly, but I can run Jolly, Pangoro, and Knockoff's just gonna do so much, I feel like. That's with Electrium Z. If he's a Z Crystal, it doesn't do as much, but otherwise it does, like, it could kill. And let me just check Deontay here. Does Bullet Punch kill Deontay if I'm Scarfed? It should. No, it doesn't. I have to be Iron Fist, don't I? I gotta be Iron Fist. And I have to be Adamant. Nah, you know what? I don't think Scarf is the play. I have to be Iron Fist Adamant to do that. I feel like we gotta do that. The good thing is I like do outspeed a lot of his bulkier Pokemon, so I can still use this thing the way I want to. I could use it offensively, or I could put a berry on it to take a hit. Or I like just choice band and just click knockoff against things. Like bring it against the slower stuff and then just click knockoff. I mean, that's not a terrible option either, because like it's gonna do a lot of damage to stuff. I'm leaning towards a more offensive set though. Like just Life Orb offensive. It's not a terrible option. I did like Scarf though. But like against like a Suicune, I could have him outspeed like defensive Suicune, which is it hits like 0 speed, hits 206. So I can aim for like 210 maybe. Like 210. Maybe like 211 and then a little bit of bulk. That way I'm gonna be outspeeding like pretty much everything. At least like his bulky stuff. So that's kind of solid. It's just a matter of what I think in terms of the best item for him. it's tricky because Life Orb guarantees the kill on Deontay, which I think is really valuable, and his job is to break. So you know, I'm gonna run Life Orb. I feel like that's gonna allow us to like really put a lot of offensive pressure on him. So now I kind of want some more defensive Pokemon on the team now. I do think Rotom is a really good bring. I think having the ability to Will-O-Wisp things is really valuable, and it's a great check to Thundurus. So last time I brought like a Scarf set, but this time we're gonna bring a more defensive set. I think Rotom is too good to not bring in this match, so I'm gonna bring Leftovers. We're gonna run Volt Switch, run Will-O-Wisp, because it's just so good against his defensive Pokemon. And then I think Leaf Storm is really solid. Like, even though it kind of potentially sets us up for being set up fodder, I still think it's really good. And then, because like we stopped Donphan, we stopped so many things. We could hit the Deontay. The Thundurus is a little bit annoying because it can like come in against us. But if I burn that thing, that's cool too. And like, Buzzwole's annoying, but I can still handle it. So I like this option here. And then in terms of the last option, I mean, I see some viability in like a Shadow Ball. I see some viability in like a couple different things. T-Ball's also nice. Pain Split's nice. I kind of like Discharge for his team. Although again, the Thundurus can come in against that, so it's a little bit annoying. And I want to burn stuff. Light Screen's not bad if I wanted to go that route. Toxic isn't bad. And like Defog to remove hazards isn't bad either, because like my team isn't super weak to them though at this point. And I do like Pain Split. Like Pain Split's one of my favorite moves because it could just be so good. I think Pain Split's probably the play, or I run like a single screen with like a Light Screen or a Reflect, which I'm a fan of actually doing that. Like I really like doing single screens. I think that they can be really effective. Toxic is another option too, like just running dual status, because like I can predict, you know, a couple different things. This thing like maybe just Defog is best because he's gonna have like Registeel with rocks, and like removing rocks could end up being pretty helpful. So it's tough. Do I want Toxic? Do I want Pain Split? Do I want Defog? Is really what it comes down to. I think I want to get rocks up myself, so I'm gonna go with Pain Split, dude. That's gonna be my gut. My gut says Pain Split. All right, we're gonna run max HP. I do want to run a little bit of speed on this thing. I don't want to go crazy. I'm gonna run like 52 speed, which is gonna like kind of creep like bulkier Buzzwoles. It's gonna creep Suicune, you know, things like that. And then we're gonna run probably physical defense mostly, which kind of helps us out against things like the Donphan and the Jirachi. I kind of like that because Jirachi really doesn't do much to me besides U-turning. So I'm not gonna like do any crazy calcs here. I'm just gonna kind of wing it, which is the theme of this season. I normally would obviously spend more time calcing, but all right. So we have 6 Pokemon right now. We have to decide our last. I think if I can get up a Dragon Dance with Zygarde, it can put in a ton of work. Obviously, you have to worry about things like Suicune. We have to worry about things like Thundurus, whatever else. But Dragon Dancing Zygarde does look decent against his team. He didn't bring Sneasel last time. He didn't bring Donphan last time. Both of those Pokemon would be really good. I don't want to bring Snorlax, so I feel like that adds to my weakness against Buzzwole. I just don't think it's worth it. You know, it's very bulky, but I just feel like it's too passive in this match. Again, I didn't like Salazzle. I don't think Shuckle's worth bringing. And then from there, it's like Ferroseed. I don't have rocks right now. That's one thing to know. I don't have rocks. I mean, Stagataka with a Chople Berry isn't bad. Because like I can, you know, beat the Thundurus with it, and I can set up rocks. Like lead Stagataka with Chople Berry isn't the worst idea in the world. But again, I just feel like it has such a hard time against a lot of his team. So it does stop like things like Jirachi though, relatively well. So like it's such a weird matchup with Stagataka, dude. I had Ferroseed last time and I liked Ferroseed last time, but he had Hidden Power Fire Mega Deontay, which is like messed me up. I did like it though. I did like having Ferroseed. I thought it was an okay bring. I don't think Shuckle's worth it. I mean, is Shuckle worth it? Like I feel like if I bring Shuckle, he automatically like leads Mega Deontay. Can Shuckle learn Gyro Ball? And if it does, can it beat Deontay? with Gyro Ball if I let it. It does like half. I'm assuming it learns Gyro Ball because if I brought like a Shuckle with some like offensive investment, doesn't have to be a ton, and I run 0 speed, minus speed nature, which would be let's say Sassy. I don't need a ton of investment to be able to do that. And like, yeah, he can Diamond Storm me, but I can run a Super Berry and Sturdy and guarantee that I either get up webs or like, are webs worth it for me though? Like, rocks are nice. Are webs worth it though? Webs help against Deontay. They don't help against Thundurus. Defensive Sagataka, dude. Like, Air Balloon Sagataka, something like that. Like, it's decent in this match. Or fight, like the Fighting Resist Sagataka. It feels like I have to go that route. Because if I can hit Stone Edges, man, it's going to do a lot of damage to things. Like, once I get 1 Beast Boost, it might just be worth it. Like, Shookaberry defensive with Stealth Rock. And just scout out his sets. If it, I want to run rocks in this team. I feel like it's worth it because of the Thundurus. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna learn from last match, and we're gonna run Sagataka, dude. I really like Sagataka, so we're gonna run Choppleberry with Beast Boost, and we're gonna run Stone Edge. We're gonna run Stealth Rock. We're gonna run Earthquake. That covers pretty much everything, and Gyro Ball, I guess. Gyro Ball. I mean, it's still a really strong set. And that covers my Thundurus problem. Toxic is actually nice for Suicune. It's not a terrible option. Earthquake does help against the Registeel. It's not going to do a ton back to me besides having Earthquake. Buzzwole is going to take a... Dude, I don't know if I'm convinced in this set, man. It's so tricky. I have a hard time justifying Shuckle. Zygarde's really good if I just don't bring rocks, but like, am I going to really just not bring rocks in this match? He's got a Thundurus. It's going to be really annoying. I guess they don't really affect him that much outside of Thundurus. Maybe I just don't bring rocks, dude. I'll bring Defog, and I'm just not going to bring rocks. I'm going to bring Zygarde, dude. I feel like Zygarde's too good to not bring, man. I have to bring Zygarde. I just have to. I feel like it's such a good Pokemon if it can get set up. We're going to run Dragon Dance, dude. Not Dragon Breath, Dragon Dance, preferably. Dragon Dance, 1,000 arrows. 1,000 arrows. Which probably one-shots Deontay. How much does it do to Thundurus? I feel like Zygarde, if it gets up a Dragon Dance, just can kind of win this game. That's the other thing. Thundurus, +1. Yeah, it could potentially beat the Thundurus, and it definitely knocks out Deontay. Yep, and then Suicune. Outrage 2-shots it. It's not bad. Extreme Speed isn't terrible. What does it do to Buzzwole? Buzzwole was like one of the issues. I can definitely run let's see what we have here. Do we learn about areas? No. How does this sub-coil set do actually against him? Does actually, if he only runs Scald, does Suicune break a sub? Buzzwole's gonna have Ice Punch. Scald actually doesn't break if he doesn't run Ice Beam. So sub-coil is not terrible. What about Donphan? Does Donphan break with Earthquake? Yeah, it does. Okay. I think that just a Dragon Dance set is the best set with the Yachi Berry. That way Sneasel can't one-shot me. I think I have to just bring Outrage, despite the Deontay. I have a couple different ways to deal with Deontay, so I have multiple priority. And then it's a matter of how do I get through the Donphan / Buzzwoles, which I think in that case, Buzzwole, I can run like Stone Edge or Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt, that could work. That could work. Zen Headbutt. At +1 is a 2-shot. This is a max defense set. With a little chip damage, that might be the play. Or do I just run special HP Flying? Hidden Power Flying does more. Hidden Power Flying does do more. If he's Assault Vest, though, that's not the case. So Zen Headbutt helps me pretty much only against the Buzzwole, and it really doesn't do that much. And Buzzwole can do like a decent amount to me. Stone Edge isn't gonna be worth it. Pain Split, no. Focus Split, no. I mean, Hidden Power Flying, dude. You can't learn any flying moves. Nothing? Zygarde, you disappoint me, dude. You disappoint me. Yeah, I think hidden power flying, dude. This thing pressures so many things, though. It really pressures a lot of stuff on his team. I really have to bring it. I'm gonna run hidden power flying, dude. We're gonna meme it out. Let's do it. I'm gonna run adamant, though. Max attack, adamant. And basically, I just need enough speed to... realistically, like, we can run a ton of bulk. Because if he's got a Scarver, he's gonna outspeed me no matter what. So, I really just want to outspeed Sneasel. So we're gonna run like a very bulky Zygarde. So Sneasel hits 361, which means we want to hit 242, which we can definitely do with adamant. So 242, right? 241. So yeah, 242. Okay, so 242, and then I just want to like see max speed Suicune timid. It's 295. There's no way he runs that though. There's no way he runs that. 226. I'll run a couple extra points. 272. Okay. So we're gonna hit 272 and then just a lot of bulk. Why is that so much? 72, adamant. Adamant. I'm confused. What did I do wrong? 72 gets to 244. Oh, I want to get to 244. Okay. 72. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Alright, we got a lot of bulk. Okay. Snack. Snack. Okay, I think that's our squad, dude. Hidden power flying, baby. It's crazy. It should two-shot still, though, against Buzzwole. Bulky Buzzwole. HP flying does two-shot. That's max HP. No special defense. Yeah, okay. I don't think he brings it anyway. It's a tough matchup against me. Okay, I like this team. I think this is the right team. Let's recap here. So my switching to Jirachi basically is Voltergeist. I do have Nexus as well and Eclipse, which can sponge hits. Buzzwole, the way I deal with my Buzzwole is probably, I don't really have a lot of switches to it, but Nexus does take both stabs, and so does Burb, so like offensively I can check it. Donphan's a bit annoying, but I have Voltergeist, and Nexus offensively pressures it. A couple different things offensively pressure it. Cofagrigus, you know, I can definitely offensively pressure it. It's definitely annoying defense, or like, to switch into, but, you know, if he goes for a Ghost move, I have, you know, Pidgeot. Sneasel, again, I have Nexus, which offensively is pretty solid against it. And I have priority with Power Toss and Nexus. Like, both of them have really good, strong priority. Registeel I can break with Power Toss, Nexus. You know, Snack can break it, and Burb can break it. I think Registeel's going to be, like, very pressured. Mega Deontay, my response is I have two Pokemon that can one-shot it with priority, which is really good. Snack, if it sets up, can beat it as well. Suicune's annoying. They're all annoying. Voltergeist can beat it, and then I can offensively pressure with these two, and then hopefully Burb can weaken it. And Calm Mind, Necrozma's really good if he doesn't have Roar. Magmortar, again, I'm less concerned. Again, I have Nexus and I have Snack, and then, you know, I have things that outspeed it. Volplume, he brought it last time, which I thought was interesting, so whatever. And then Thundurus, again, same kind of thing. I have to just, like, try to offensively pressure Thundurus. This is where Voltergeist is really important, though. And then he has to make predictions now with Snack, so he can't just automatically assume. And I have Yachi Berry, so I can set up on Thundurus and then go for 1,000 arrows. So that's our team, man. I'm just gonna go for it. aDrive Army Battle League Championship is about to go down. Hope you guys are excited, and I'm just gonna kind of run through this team one more time and just like make sure the EV spreads are good and everything. But wish me luck, guys. It should be fun, and let's do it up, man. Let's do the battle. All right, guys, here we are for the aDrive Army Battle League Championship. We just built our team, and we can see what Fizzle the Hizzle has brought. He's got the Thundurus, the Deontay, the Registeel, the Volplume, the Donphan, and the Suicune. So a pretty similar team to what he brought last time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember if he had Donphan. I think he didn't have Donphan last time. Let me see if I can remember what he had. He had, what did he have last time? It wasn't Donphan. I know he brought the Thundurus, I know he brought the Deontay. Maybe he did bring Donphan. I don't remember, but either way, we got our team here. I actually feel okay about our team right now. I feel like we have a decent team for this battle. In terms of my leads, I think Rotom is just really important in this match. The fact that it can burn things like the Donphan, and the fact that it can, you know, burn a number of different things, and also pressure things like Deontay with Leaf Storm and so on and so forth, as well as be a defensive switch into the Thundurus, makes it a pretty solid lead here, because he's probably going to try to get up his rocks with either the Donphan or the Registeel. So I do feel like there's some viability there in leading with my Rotom, just because defensively it's really good. So I actually am gonna just do that, yeah, that's gonna be my plan here. So in terms of this strategy though, I think, you know, like, the key here is I have to just offensively use things like Pangoro and things like Azumarill to really pressure him. So he's going to lead Donphan here, which is phenomenal, because that means I get a free Will-O-Wisp on whatever I decide to do. It very well could be something like the Vileplume and the Registeel, but to me, just going for a Will-O-Wisp here is actually pretty solid. So the worst thing he does is sets up Stealth Rocks. Like, that's the absolute worst case scenario here, in my opinion, or goes for knockoff to kind of reduce our longevity. But I know I can Rapid Spin, or I'm sorry, Defog, so I'm not super concerned. He's gonna go Registeel here, which is fine. I am gonna burn the Registeel, which is really nice. That's gonna kind of reduce this thing's longevity and make my life a little bit easier. In terms of what this Registeel is gonna do, he could go for a Toxic. He could go for a couple different things. I kind of get to just freely Volt Switch here, I think, though. And he could just set up his Stealth Rock. So in this situation, I really like Pangoro. The absolute worst case scenario here is he goes for probably Toxic, Earthquake, something like that. I don't think Pangoro is a bad switch in though at all, because I should be able to outspeed and then I can just fire off a knockoff. So I am gonna make that play to Pangoro here. He could have the Zap Cannon again, but he's just gonna set Stealth Rocks, so that's fine. And he does show the leftovers. Knockoff here is a tremendous play. It really hits everything on his team, including the Donphan. So I lose nothing by just going for knockoff, in my opinion. If he decides to stay in, that's fine. I will pretty much eliminate his best switch into my Pidgeot, which would be phenomenal, because at that point I can pretty freely spam Brave Bird, or Hurricane rather. Even though Thundurus can take the hits, the knockoff here is just a really good play. And again, I don't lose much to it. If he switches out into like a Suicune or a Donphan or something, I can Parting Shot out. I have a good amount of speed on this thing, so I should be faster than those Pokemon. And the fact that his Registeel does show Stealth Rock leads me to believe that the Donphan is probably a little bit more offensive, with obviously Ice Shard, Earthquake, things like that. But knockoff here should really hurt something, and obviously he's got to be fearing a Drain Punch right now, which could lead the Vileplume switch in, or the Thundurus switch in. But again, he may just side this thing off. He's gonna go into Vileplume, which is totally fine. Knockoff is gonna do over half to him, and it's gonna knock off his Black Sludge, so that's actually really solid for me. To me, I think my best play here is just a Parting Shot out. He may have the Strength Sap or something like that, but this gives me a pretty solid switch into my Pidgeot, which isn't a bad option to be able to start firing off Hurricanes. The other option is I just go for knockoff again and just try to weaken this thing, but he's probably got Effect Spore, so I gotta keep that in mind. And I think the worst thing he does here is Synthesis or Strength Sap, so I'm gonna Parting Shot here. I should be faster, and he may also double, predicting like an Ice Punch or something, understanding that there's a good chance that I have it. So there's a chance he wants to keep this thing around. This is probably one of his primary ways to deal with Azumarill, obviously resisting my dual stab. So I think he probably has Strength Sap, Sludge Bomb, probably Giga Drain, maybe Synthesis or Leech Seed. But as much as it stinks to take 25% to Rocks here, he's gonna switch out to a Suicune, so that actually works out really well for me. I'm gonna get my Parting Shot off here and really kind of weaken this Suicune here and allow me to go right back into my Eclipse, I think. I wish I double knocked off now, but that's okay. I do, or not my Eclipse, my Voltergeist here. Rotom looks pretty solid. Alternatively, I go Nexus and I click Knockoff. Because he doesn't want to take 2 Play Roughs with this thing. It's not a bad option. Voltergeist looks solid here though, because I could Volt Switch and like it pressures him out, or I can just Willow, because I don't think he goes Registeel. And like even burning this Suicune isn't bad. I think I'm gonna go Voltergeist, because I know I pressure him. The worst he can do is Ice Beam me, and I'm really not super concerned about that. So I kind of like the Willow play, because if he predicts the, you know, the ground type move and goes like Thunder or something, like I get to, or I'm sorry, the Electric type move, then I get to get a nice Willow off on something. I don't think he goes Donphan here, and I have a hard time thinking he's gonna go Thundurus, although he could go Thundurus. I'm just gonna Will-O-Wisp. He's -1 because of the Parting Shot, so like he's in a situation where he's really not in the best spot offensively with Suicune. And like I said, he could go Registeel here, but the Registeel I think is like just a really defensive set, so he just gives me pivot back into my Pangoro, which is fine if I Volt Switch, you know what I mean. He goes Registeel again, so he makes the proper play there. Unfortunately, I don't gain any momentum in this exchange. I can Defog though and force the Rocks again, so I'm gonna do that. I'm actually just gonna Defog here and see what he wants to do. I do get to remove him. He's gonna go for Toxic, which is fine. I kind of see the Toxic now, and I've also removed Hazards. This is a situation where he likely is gonna want to set up Rocks again. And the reason why I went this route here is so that now I can Volt Switch and get back into my Pangoro, and then pressure him with Knockoff. And again, that Vileplume does not want to take multiple knockoffs. We've almost got the Vileplume down to the point where he's not going to be able to live a hit, so, which is solid. We get the Volt Switch off. It's going to do a little bit of chip damage. We're going to go right back into our Pangoro here. He's probably going to set up rocks, or he's going to go for an offensive move. He does just go for the rocks here. So last time I went for knockoff. This time I can go for low kick if I want. I do think knockoff is still the best play, because even the Vileplume coming in doesn't want to take 2 knockoffs. So I'm just going to make the knockoff play again. I feel like it's a 0 risk play. The worst, it seems, is he goes for Toxic. So to me, this is just a really solid option. Kind of stinks that Rotom got Toxic, to be honest. But at the same time, like, it's given me a lot of momentum, those Volt Switches, so, and it doesn't seem like that Thundurus wants to come in against Rotom so far. With that Volt Absorb, it's a little risky. So knockoff pressures everything here. Again, if he goes Vileplume, it's fine, like, I 2-shot it. So he's gonna go Deontay here, totally fine. I get the knockoff, no big deal. He's gotta know I have Bullet Punch though, I feel like. So does he predict the Bullet Punch here, or do I make the safe play? He's gotta know I have Bullet Punch, maybe he doesn't though. I feel like I have to go Bullet Punch. It's a little too obvious, but I feel like I gotta go for it. He's gonna just switch out there to Suicune, I think. I'm gonna go for Bullet Punch though. He's gotta know I have Bullet Punch. He's gotta know I have it. It's too risky though for me not to. I think I just gotta go Bullet Punch. As much as I want to click knockoff here, yeah, he's gonna go Suicune. As much as I really wanted to click knockoff there, I felt like I have to Bullet Punch. Okay. I can get rid of this thing's leftovers though, so to me, I think I'm just gonna knock off. He can't one-shot me with Scald. So, and he's got to think I'm gonna switch out to probably Rotom anyway. So to me, I'm willing to go for knockoff here because it weakens the Suicune to the point where like he's not gonna like be able to take repeated hits from things like a Azumarill. And I get rid of his leftovers if he stays in. I wish I made that knockoff play against the Deontay. Like, the Bullet Punch was so obvious, and I know that. He's gonna Scald. We're gonna take that. No burn, though. Perfect. Get a big knockoff there. Get rid of his leftovers, and we're in a great situation with our Power Toss here. I go right back into Voltergeist. I go right back into Voltergeist. So he is faster than me. I'm 211. He's got to have a little bit of speed, I think. But that was big, because now I've got this this Suicune down below half, and he has no leftovers now, which reduces his longevity. So if he's not like the Calm Mind set with rest, then, which I don't think he would be anyway. He's probably just like defensive. And if he has Ice Beam, that's fine. I mean, I have Rotom. Rotom can switch in here pretty safely on the Scald. He does go for Scald, that's fine. And I could just defog here again. It stinks that again I'm losing a lot of health here, but defog seems like a really solid play. I mean, the Registeel could come back in, but to me, I'm just going to defog. Because the worst he does here is Ice Beams. And I'm faster than the Pangoro was, so I'm probably faster than this. I doubt he lets this thing go down right now, too. Like, Volt Switch is really nice, but again, I'm just going to defog. Let's see what he does. He does have the Ice Beam. It's going to do a lot of damage to me. I am faster, though, which is nice. So I can just Volt Switch out of here. So I gain some momentum with that. Now, he could predict that. He's going to protect, so he's actually shows his full set here, pretty much. He can predict that and go Thundurus right now. I'm okay with that, though. Like, if he goes Thundurus and I lose my Voltergeist, it's really not the end of the world. Would he go Thundurus, though? I'm just going to Volt Switch. If he goes Thundurus, just good play, man. Just a good play. Like, I'm okay losing it. He does go Thundurus, so I think we just die here to Poison, probably? Yes, we do, which is good. That's actually a good thing. Okay, now we don't know what set this thing is. I actually kind of like the option of clicking Dragon Dance here. Because his Suicune's weakened, his Vileplume is weakened, his Donphan's good, but I can use Sneck right now to break his team. So, if he has HP Ice, then so be it. He HP Ices, I'm faster. Unless he's Scarf, which I don't know if he's Scarf yet. The other option is going into Eclipse here, clicking Calm Mind, which really pressures him. Let's run a quick calc here. Necrozma, let's say he's offensive against Thundurus. Last time he brought, yeah, Thunderbolt's gonna do a good chunk to me, but after, if I get a +1 up, it's not gonna do that much to me. All right, I'm gonna make the Eclipse play here. I'm gonna click Calm Mind. He's gonna do a chunk to me with like a Thunderbolt, but I should be able to take a second one after the Calm Mind. And last time he was Fight Z, so I'm thinking he could be Scarfed. But getting up a Calm Mind here is really solid because it allows me to take on the Deontay. It allows me to take on everything. He just goes straight Donphan, totally fine by me. I get a Calm Mind up, and now I get a Photon Geyser, which does ignore his ability. I don't know if +1 Photon Geyser one-shots Donphan, but it very well might. I think it does. And it ignores his ability, so if it ignores Sturdy. Yes, dude, nice. That was big, that was big, that was big, that was big. Just got rid of his Donphan, dude. He probably didn't realize that. He probably thought the Sturdy was gonna activate. That was huge. Eclipse just runs right now. It just runs. It just runs. It puts on so much pressure against his team right now. The Suicune's weakened, the Volplume's weakened, the Registeel's burned and weakened. The Deontay dies to an Earth Power or Photon Geyser, and Thundurus dies. Yo, that was the right play to go into Necrozma, man. That was the right play. He says there's a glitch. Nope. Photon Geyser ignores abilities. He says there's a glitch. I have Sturdy. And I said Photon Geyser ignores abilities. He didn't realize that, which is a really cool effect of Photon Geyser. So that's going to play into huge effect here. He thought his Donphan was going to be able to live, probably go for a knockoff or something like that, and that is not the case, and we're sitting at +1 special defense against a team of special attackers. That's phenomenal, dude. I would imagine he's going to go into this thing. I would imagine Earth Power probably does a lot to Registeel, even if he's specially defensive. Maybe doesn't kill, and it maybe puts him in a situation. I mean, he's gonna probably Toxic me, so I'm just gonna Earth Power because it's a 2-shot. Yeah, I could have Calm Mind, but he just Toxic. That's fine. We're on a timer, but I'm in a situation now where I'm about to get rid of this thing. So I think Photon Geyser kills at this range. It's close. Do I Photon Geyser here, predicting the switch into Thundurus on the Earth Power? I think so. It should knock him out either way. That's hold on. Let's calc this. That's max to defense. I'm calculating 21 to 25. Yeah, we're gonna go for that. Photon Geyser. In case he switches Thundurus to predict the Earth Power. In case he switches Thundurus to predict the Earth Power. He stays in. It should knock him out though. Ooh, that stinks. Hey, Earthquake. All right, so I take an extra 10% for no reason. That's fine. Whatever. I take a lot of actually extra percents there. That stinks. That really stinks, actually. I just misplayed hardcore. I just needed the Earth Power there. I overpredicted. That's okay, though. It's okay. We're in a really powerful position right now. We're in a pretty powerful position. He can't one-shot me with anything, and I can do a lot of damage. Here comes Suicune. I think we one-shot this thing with Photon Geyser at +1. I should be faster. He's gonna protect, so dude, that extra turn is gonna really mess with me. We're taking 2 extra turns. That's okay though. I just Photon Geyser. It's fine. You know what? We put ourselves in a situation where we were like able to break through his team. He probably just switches Volplume here and sacks it off. If I was him, I would switch in Volplume here and sack it off. He's gonna go Thundurus. That's fine. Should one-shot. Okay, he likely goes Suicune here and protects again, at which point I just Moonlight. I think that's what I gotta do. It says he lost due to inactivity. Oh, we ran out of time. Oh no, we ran out of time. Okay, we'll cut and we'll recontinue. All right, guys, we're back. We recreated the battle. Unfortunately, I got the short end of the stick here on the recreation, but I'm not gonna like stress it, dude. It is what it is, man. Somehow the Thundurus lived the Photon Geyser on the reroll, and Necrozma actually died to poison. Normally Necrozma would have definitely killed the first time. Necrozma definitely killed the Thundurus, 100%, and I lived to poison, so I would have had another turn. He would have brought in Suicune most likely and clicked Protect, and then I would have actually went for the Moonlight and potentially lived another turn. So we're at a terrible situation comparative, but I'm gonna go into Mega Pidgeot here, and I'm gonna find out whether or not he has if he's Scarfed or not. So I'm just gonna go for the Hurricane here against the Thundurus. If he's Choice Scarf, then that means I go into Zygarde and I click Dragon Dance. So I'm not gonna make a huge deal of it because I think we can still win the game regardless at this point in the match. The Suicune's also like at an extra 5% of health, which kind of stinks. But again, I still have my Yachi Berry intact, so I don't see why I can't click Dragon Dance against either the Thundurus or the Suicune and potentially try to sweep there. So again, I'm not gonna like, you know, be a stickler for it. So he is actually Choice Scarfed, which is good to know. So we'll find out right now that he's Choice Scarfed. So I just go into my my thing here and I just click Dragon Dance, which is fine. We'll just have to click Dragon Dance here. I have to click it twice, I think, but 2 Dragon Dances makes me faster than the Thundurus, and I can live a whatchamacallit from the Suicune. So I think I just Dragon Dance twice here and that should be game. So yeah, it kind of stinks. So basically what happened was for my matches, we agreed in the league that I can put timer on so the matches like don't take for absolute ever. Otherwise they would just be like super duper long. So as a result of that, like, we had the timer on, and then he just got pressured into it. Let me just run this quick calc here, though, on, what is it called? Zygarde. Zygarde +1 against Suicune. Let's take a look at the Crowcoon. We do like 30%. If I do go +2, it should knock him out. It's close. Of course, it's like a damage roll. Yeah, I'm just gonna Dragon Dance the second time. He's gonna Ice Beam. It's gonna pop my Yachi Berry. Brings us down to 30. We might actually live another one. I'm gonna 1,000 arrows though, and hope we knock him out. If here's another thing where it's like he should have been 5% lower. You should be 5% lower. This prob won't kill now. The recreation really messed us up here. The Suicune was like 5% lower. I think it was like 45%. If this kills, we have game. Okay, so it does kill, so it's not gonna matter. I think we have game at this point anyway. We do outspeed the Thundurus, and I can, you know, probably one-shot it with 1,000 arrows, I would imagine. Oh yeah, it's at 4%. The Deontay doesn't live, and then, you know, I definitely outspeed the Thundurus now. I would assume. Let's actually double check. I actually don't know if I outspeed, but he's gonna go into this thing first anyway. But +2,000 arrows should knock out a Vileplume. It does. So there's a chance that his Thundurus actually outspeeds. I highly doubt it. If it does, I still win though with Aqua Jet, so it's not the end of the world. But that's gonna be that, guys. So we're gonna be able to seal the deal here. We are gonna be your aDrive Army Battle League champions. So props to Fizzle, who beat us early in the season. Like I said, always kind of a bummer when you have to do a recreation, but it's all good, man. We're gonna pick up the W, dude, and the New York Metapods win the aDrive Army Battle League championship, which is super duper cool. I was in the championship a few seasons ago and I lost, which is definitely a bummer, but this time we're gonna come back and we're gonna pick up the W. So congratulations to Fizzle for coming in second and making it this far, and thank you to all the aDrive Army members who competed this season. It's been an absolute blast, and I really appreciate you guys being here and just supporting what I do. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Thanks so much for checking out my last video. If you like that one, you'll definitely like this one, and be sure to subscribe for more as I post Pokemon videos every single day.